budget assumptions regarding the reopening of the international border in mid-2022. And also Scott Morrison has flagged for the first time yesterday vaccinated Australians could travel domestically without restrictions once we reach a certain level of herd immunity. Could you explain how this would work in practice and whether states are open to such an approach?
Sure. So there are two elements here. The Treasury advice reflects the health advice, and so it's consistent with and based upon the health advice, and that comes from the Chief Medical Officer as the leader of the government response on the clinical front. Secondly, in terms of domestic travel, obviously at the moment people are able to travel freely unless there's a hotspot or other related issue. Actually, that's been one of our great successes as we look at jurisdictions such as Singapore and Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, Thailand that have done incredibly well, and to see them having outbreaks and in some cases lockdowns is to recognise that this disease continues to find its way around the world. Now, in terms of our domestic travel, it will of course be a matter for National Cabinet and the states, but the point being, and something that would be under consideration for them and which we would strongly support, is that where there are outbreaks or issues relating to state borders, that there is the potential for those that have been fully vaccinated to be exempt from some of those restrictions. So that's the goal, and we're seeing this in places such as the United States, where they have had prodigiously difficult lockdown laws in some states and territories, and I say that with recognition of the absolute need, given the catastrophic levels in January of case numbers, but we're beginning to see now a different regime for those that have been fully vaccinated. And I've spoken with friends in America myself, as well as obviously we study very closely what's occurring there, and there's strong support on the advice that I have for those that have been fully vaccinated to have lesser requirements with less imposition when there has been the need to take action. So I think that's the PM's absolutely in the direction that we're looking at as a nation. Majura.
Thanks, Minister. I just had a question about dose utilisation. I haven't seen the latest weekly figures, but we see certain states having dose utilisation of about 62% or 66%. And we know that, the states have been told not to stock because the federal government has set aside the second dose. Have you been pressing these states to fully utilise the doses that they have on hand, and pressing them if they cannot use that in their state-run programs to perhaps open things like mass vaccination hubs or find better ways to efficiently give the jab to people?
Sure. On utilisation, I'll ask Commodore Young to speak. So the question was about utilisation rates in the states, but we're encouraging all of the states and territories whom we believe are universally doing an excellent job to continue to use their vaccines, and where they feel that they have more capacity to open up more channels, or where they feel that they are using their capacity to adjust their ordering, as they have done